The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Michel de Montaigne. The strongest man in the world is he who stands most alone. Henrik Ibsen. The best part about being alone is that you really don't have to answer to anybody, you do what you want. Justin Timberlake. I think it's good for a person to spend time alone. It gives them an opportunity to discover who they are and to figure out why they are always alone. Amy Sedaris. The more you know yourself, the more clarity there is. Self-knowledge has no end. Jiddu Krishnamurti. In order to be open to creativity, one must have the capacity for constructive use of solitude. One must overcome the fear of being alone. Rollo May. I think it's very healthy to spend time alone. You need to know how to be alone and not be defined by another person. Oscar Wilde. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Michel de Montaigne. Solitude is the place of purification. Martin Buber. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Terry Tempest Williams. It's easy to stand with the crowd, it takes courage to stand alone. Mahatma Gandhi. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The most terrible poverty is loneliness, and the feeling of being unloved. Mother Teresa. It is better to be alone than in bad company. George Washington. I restore myself when I'm alone. Marilyn Monroe. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Michel de Montaigne. It is better to be alone than to be in bad company. George Washington. The world is full of lonely people, all isolated in a crowd. Unknown. Loneliness adds beauty to life. It puts a special burn on sunsets and makes night air smell better. Henry Rollins. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Albert Einstein. It is far better to be alone than to be in bad company. George Washington. Sometimes you need to be alone, not to be lonely, but to enjoy your free time being yourself. Unknown. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. Wayne Dyer. I love to be alone, I never found a companion that was so companionable as solitude. Henry David Thoreau. It's better to be unhappy alone than unhappy with someone. Marilyn Monroe. Loneliness is not lack of company, loneliness is lack of purpose. Guillermo Maldonado. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Michel de Montaigne. I don't want to be alone, I want to be left alone. Audrey Hepburn. I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not, the worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel all alone. Robin Williams.